So at this time, make sure everybody is paying attention and is attentive. And let's give our respect. Let's give our attention to our brother who will take it from here.
Appreciate it. First and foremost, I want to tell everybody good afternoon or good morning where you guys at. And Harry, I just give you a shout out real quick too, man. I've been following you for a while. I've been seeing what you've been doing in the community and as far as trying to educate our Black youth, man. And I just wanted to really let that be known that I'm happy to see you doing well and giving back and really trying to inspire our youth. So just starting out with that. Giving you a little bit of background on myself, like you said, my name is Adrean Yancy. I'm sort of a serial entrepreneur, just like he is, in the sense that I love to start businesses and see them develop, see them grow, and see where I can take them. Giving you kind of some background on my history and kind of how I got to this point and my why, so to speak, is I started off in collections. So I did collections for about 12 years. And in that time frame, I came across a lot of crazy type of accounts, crazy situations, people's personal lives that really kind of inspired me to say, man, am I really on the right side of the fence with this? Like, how can I help change what I'm seeing constantly on a daily basis? So something that really opened my eyes was about 5 years ago. I talked to a person on the phone. They had a medical debt that was about $20,000. And me being very skillful and educated on the phone, I convinced him to pay a bill that was $20,000 on a credit card that he maxed out. And on top of that, to make things worse, that bill was about to fall off his credit within 3 months. So I knew that, but I didn't relate that information to him working in that industry. So what did I do to hurt that person? Well, I maxed out his credit card, which killed his utilization rate, which killed his credit score. Now, who knows how much time it's going to take him to pay that card back down to a reasonable balance, on top of the fact that he didn't even really have to pay the bill. So from that standpoint, I was like, I got to do better. So I decided to partner up with one of my good friends, Jason Barnett, with RCK Credit Consulting, and started dipping and dabbling in my first business with restoring, repairing, and consulting with credit. So from there, I was just doing that on the side to try to get my experience up, learn the business, and I took a job going into a different type of field, which was a business development manager for a car dealership. That car dealership taught me, again, more experiences of how we are, as Blacks specifically, we just don't understand finances. We don't understand the type of situations that we put ourselves in because we're so quick to make irrational decisions, or we're very quick to act off feeling instead of thinking things through. So every day I watch customers come in, apply for loans that either A, they knew they couldn't qualify for, B, if they did qualify for it, the interest rates and the terms and conditions of that loan would set them back 10 to 15 years. So at that point, again, I had to make a decision. I'm like, what can I do to help influence change in my community, amongst my people, and in the process of that, be able to start a profitable business. And that's kind of how I came to the decision to start Accelerated Risk Financial Group. So just giving you guys a little bit of background on that. Any questions about anything that I've said so far? Okay. How you doing? Oh, I can't hear you if you're saying anything. How you doing?
Remember to take yourselves off of mute when you want to ask questions, students. Take yourself off of mute. Students.
You have a question?
Hold on, my daughter got a question. Somebody go ahead and ask your question.
Okay.
What type of cars did you sell at your dealership?
Chevrolet. So anything from Chevrolet to GMC. So Impalas, Silverados, Yukons, you know, things like that, Camaros.
Anybody else? If you have a question, now's a good time to ask a question, especially if you have not got your business started yet. This is a great time to ask questions. There's a wealth of information here to help guide you on what type of business you might want to. You can ask questions about what type of business you might want to get into, you know?
Absolutely. And I'll get into some things about starting some businesses in a moment as well, and kind of mindset. All right, no other questions? So yeah, let me go ahead and dive into the mindset piece. So when you're changing from an employee to a business owner, it's hold on one second. I apologize. Amazon. Yeah. So when you're changing from an employee mindset to a business owner, it's a completely different switch, right? So when you're an employee, the only thing that you're focused on is coming into work, doing your job, whether that be good or bad, watching that clock and getting ready to leave so you can, you know, get that paycheck at the end of that week, that 2 weeks, that month, whatever your situation is. When you're a business owner, this is a 24-hour thing. There is no breaks, right? So you're constantly trying to develop ideas. You're constantly trying to build relationships, network, whether it be whatever business you start, it's going to be that. You're going to have to take inventory. You're going to have to make sure that if you have employees that they're doing what they're supposed to do. So there's a constant work that you have to go through on a daily basis. And it's not for everybody. If you don't have that drive or work ethic to want to get up and be better and make sure that you and the people that surround you are doing better, then that's not, entrepreneurship is not going to be the thing for you, right? So, but I'll say this though, if you truly want to be an entrepreneur and you will learn. Failure is just another way of learning, right? All experiences is good experiences. So I say that because I have no regrets. Anything that I failed in, anything that I could have done better, I've learned from, and it's made me a better person, a better boss, a better entrepreneur for it, right? So that's something that you're going to have to realize, that whenever you start this journey, you're not going to know everything. That's why I tell people it's good to get a mentor. If you know somebody that's in the same business field that you're in, that has been successful in it, then why not piggyback off the things that they've done? You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? If they have information that's been beneficial to them and they're willing to share it with you, you have to take advantage of those things. The problem that I see with people all the time, especially here in Georgia, is people want to do everything on their own. They want to get it out the mud. They want to reinvent the wheel, and they set themselves back because of that. If Henry has information on a certain subject matter that I have no clue on, ring, how do I do this? How can I do that? Why does this work? Why doesn't this work? You have to be willing to ask questions, because it's only going to make you better. So that's one of the things that you gotta have to understand, that it's a mindset shift. You're no longer an employee anymore. You're working for yourself. If you don't do what you need to do, you don't eat. Nobody else is bringing in those paychecks for you, right? You're not cashing checks on somebody else's behalf anymore. Everything that you do is gonna affect you and anybody that's under your umbrella. So, any questions about that?
There should be some questions about that, because y'all homework from this week on entrepreneurship was about mind state. So it should be some questions about that.
Let me ask this question. Is anybody in this group afraid of success? Are y'all afraid of failure?
No.
No. Nope.
Right. So if you're not afraid of success, then you can't be afraid of failure, because they go hand in hand. In order to become successful, you're going to go through those trials and tribulations that's going to cause failure. It just is what it is. You have to start. If you do not start, you can't get to that finish line.
Right.
I'm sure. Oh, what was that? I heard a question or something.
Yeah, Destiny, she won't admit it, but she's afraid of success. She owns a small food operation business, and she's terrified that it's gonna get so big. She doesn't know what to do with it. How are we gonna run it?
Do you know that is a great problem to have? if my business got so big that I just like, man, I got so many clients and so many customers, I just don't know what to do with it. Like, that's a great problem to have. But what I would tell you, being at a young age and being fearful of that, is writing down the goals, writing down the plan. If right now you know that you can satisfy 5 customers a day, then you need to figure out what can you do to satisfy 10 customers a day, right? If you create that game plan, you're always scaling towards being a bigger company. You're never going to have to be concerned about being afraid of being successful. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, if you know, man, this right now I can only handle such and such customers, and you got to figure out what you got to do to be able to handle more. Do you need to help? I mean, get help. Do you need to ask one of your friends for help? Do you need to get an employee? Do you need to contract someone? Do you need to, whoever you're getting your supplies and inventory from, do you need to get more bulk orders to be able to satisfy that? Does your hours need to change? If you're working something for 3 to 4 hours, do you need to make sure you're doing it for 6 hours now? There's a solution for everything, but you just have to dive into whatever your business plan is and make those tweaks for growth.
I see we got a question. It says Samaya raised her hand. Go ahead and ask your question.
How does a contract work, and what is a contract?
So when you say that, are you referring to like hiring someone or contracting someone out, or just me offering you as a client a contract?
Hiring someone with a contract.
Okay. So I personally have 2 contracted individuals that's sales reps for me for my financial business. And basically the contract is going to say that they're not an actual employee for me. Therefore, I'm not actually paying them out any benefit. The work that they're due, they'll be paid for either in commission or hourly, but they can only do so many hours. So that's the type of contract that mine say. So applying that to the example that the young lady just had, if she has a food or supply business that she's trying to run and she wants to contract somebody to come and do 2 hours a day for her, she can do that. She can just draw up the agreement, or have someone draw up the agreement for her saying, hey, you come and do 2 hours for me, and based on the production that we make or sell, you'll get X amount of money. I want to read a quote for you guys real quick from a motivational speaker. His name is Les Brown. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him. So he asked a question during one of his speaking engagements, and he asked, where do you guys think the richest place in the world is? Does anybody have a guess on what the richest place in the world is?
Africa?
Africa, because of diamonds and stuff.
Okay. Anybody else?
Go ahead, Samaya. You had your hand up.
Okay. I'm gonna throw you off guard with this. He said the richest place in the world is the graveyard.
Mm.
And I'm going to read to you why, verbatim, why he said that. The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it's here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take that first step. I mean, I don't know how much deeper you can get, but just think about that. How many friends do you guys have? How many times have you said, man, I want to do this, or I want to create this, and it's just become put by the wayside. I know Henry can speak to this as an adult. We do this. I mean, we've seen this happen hundreds of times.
Yes, sir.
Like, people just don't fulfill their dreams. They let life catch up with them and, you know, take them in one direction or another, and they become content. They settle. But if you're going to be serious about being an entrepreneur, you have to take that first step. You can't get to the end of that finish line without taking that walk. Another point I want to touch on, guys, is I'll hear this knowledge is power. And I wanted to echo that knowledge is power, but to a certain extent. In order for you to really reap the benefits of the knowledge that you're gaining, you have to apply that knowledge. Application is the best form of power that you can get. If I learn something, I learn a skill and I never do anything with it, well, how did that benefit me, right? I'll use a basketball analogy. If I practice on my left hand and practice every day, or I practice on that jump shot every day, but then when I get in the game, I don't shoot, or I only use that right hand, well, what good was that practice? So I want you guys to think about that. When you guys are in this academy, when you guys are learning things, the application point of it is so important because that's gonna really show you what you're doing. Anybody can read something to you. This is the problem I have with the regular institution, and I have a finance degree, right? I have a finance degree from Illinois State University, but most of my teachers and professors never worked in the finance industry. So you have no application. All you have is you read books, you completed assignments, finished tests, and was able to get good grades on there to the point where you could be a teacher. But what application do you have? What field experience do you have? So knowledge is power, guys, but applied knowledge is even more. Any questions on that?
Applied knowledge. Hey, if for example, if you learn an addition and you learn that 1 + 1 = 2, and you go to the store and a candy bar costs 50 cents, and you give them a $5 bill and they give you nothing back in change, then that means the knowledge that you just learned that you didn't know how to apply was worthless, because you got to know how to apply. There should be, if you all are looking at starting a business, some of you all should be asking questions along the lines of, how do I apply what I'm learning? No matter what it is, how do I apply that to my business? This is a good time to get that information that can help you really in your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and if you guys do have questions on that or want to ask, go ahead and shoot. Otherwise, I'll keep rolling real quick, because I do want to touch on why I'm so passionate on financial literacy and why I'm passionate about being a serial entrepreneur. So for a lot of people, it takes a long time for them to figure out why I'm here, right? Why was I born? What was I put on this earth for, right? It takes a long time for some people to figure out that. Well, I learned at an early age that I like helping people. I like solving problems. I like providing solutions. And I like numbers, which is why I ended up getting a finance degree. So, but one thing that I like more is is when people don't understand certain subjects or when they need help budgeting, credit, and just finances in general. I love being the source to be able to help them, not because of the monetary value of it, but because the value that I get inside and the feeling that I get for being able to provide that knowledge, and I'm helping somebody because I could potentially not just change their lives, but change the lives of their family tree, right? So if I teach you something that you didn't know, and you can go and teach your brother, sister, mother, dad, cousin, whoever, that same information, well, you're not just changing that person's life anymore, you're changing that whole tree, that whole family tree. So that's important. So you guys are gonna have businesses. You can start a business and you can do it just to have a business that's profitable, but what gives you more value to you is when you start a business that you can give your all to, that you value everything that you're doing, whether that's having a store and the products that you sell, if it's writing a book and the information that you put in that book, anything. If it's providing not only value to your customers, but providing value to you, it's worth starting. Any questions, guys?
What cars did you sell?
I was a business development manager there, so my job was to generate business and grow the company. But we sold Camaros, Silverados, Equinoxes, tracks, things like that.
Did you sell old school?
Go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Did you sell old school cars?
Henry, did you hear what he said? Because I couldn't catch that.
I think he said, did you sell old school cars?
Oh, no, we did. Our lot didn't. They didn't sell anything that's over 100,000 miles. So old school cars typically have a lot of miles on them, so we wouldn't sell those. The oldest car you might bust would be like a 2010, 2011.
Is there anybody in Pacific who inspired you?
Who inspired me?
Yeah.
I got inspired off of kind of what I talked about in the beginning of our conversation, just kind of the experiences that I went through. I didn't have any one entrepreneur inspire me, so to speak. I kind of fell into it because I got tired of being on the opposite end of helping people, if that makes sense, right? When I was doing collections and the business and that people don't have to pay certain things, yet we're forcing them to pay it. Well, from integrity standpoints, from moral standpoints, that's not a good feeling. So, and I did that for about 12 years. So, at some point it was like, put up or shut up. You got to make that jump. If you want to change something, you can't just keep doing the same thing, right? That's the definition of it. So you've got to be able to be willing to change and make that jump. So I did. On the car side, same thing. When I know people are signing loans and leases that's going to set them back years, that's not from an integrity and moral standpoint, that's not a good feeling either. So my inspiration was basically trying to be able to change all of that.
For your business or before your business, what did you use as a set of income to start your business?
So that's a great question. So every job that I've done, I've always tried to learn from and use the money that I'm actually making from that job to self-development, right? So I know we're talking about entrepreneurship and, having a job is not a bad thing, as long as you're using it as a stepping stone to get to where you want to be, right? It needs to be a temporary situation for long-term satisfaction. So I can go work for someone, understanding that I have a goal in mind, that I need to save up X amount of dollars, and that I need to put that money in towards investing into myself or whatever business I'm trying to start. So each job I took, if I couldn't do two things, if I couldn't multitask and work for them and work for myself at the same time while I'm on their clock, I didn't do it. And if I didn't make enough money to be able to invest in whatever goal or business I was trying to accomplish at the time, then I didn't do it. So that's what I did. That's the format that I used when trying to get my businesses off the ground. I'm curious though, I would love to hear about some of the businesses that you guys are interested in starting, and you know why that is. Why would you choose that business?
I want to hear a lot of answers now. If not, I'm just gonna call on everybody.
I have a business.
What was that, Destiny?
I run an empanadilla restaurant. So whenever people want to come for like Spanish type of food, I can cook it. I've been cooking since I was little. So I know how to cook all the Spanish foods. My mom and dad help me. And whenever you're hungry for anything like Spanish food, you can come to mine. We cook the best.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
I personally, I want to start getting my license to do acrylics. So.
Okay. Okay. That would be a good business down here for sure.
Samaya, you can just go. You don't have to raise your hand. Just go.
I have two businesses. One of them is digital art, and the other one is selling food, drinks, and other things like that.
Okay. How did you get into digital art?
So before, I like to watch videos of people doing art, and I thought it was really pretty, so I wanted to try it myself.
What's that loud noise?
Okay,
I think somebody was trying.
Who else?
Actually,
Angela?
I run two.
Oh, go ahead, Destiny.
I have two because my dad has the 100 Strong store, and my mom's thinking of doing like for only grown-ups, trying to do like acrylic nail polish. So she's been doing it on herself. I've been doing it for a while now, and I'm getting really better at it. So we're gonna try to do it at my dad's 100 Strong store.
Okay. Okay. So the next thing I would say to you guys is, now that you've identified the businesses that you want to start, you got to understand that there's competition out here, right? There's going to be other restaurants. There's going to be other places that's doing acrylics, digital art. What you have to do is create something that's going to be able to separate you from the flock, right? So when you create whatever it is that you're trying to create from that business standpoint, what's going to make you different? Why would people want to come shop and do business with you instead of your competition? Right. And you don't have to know the answer right now. I'm just simply saying that that is something that, as you guys are going down this journey, you guys are going to really consider thinking about early, like, how can I separate myself from everyone else that may have similar ideas and similar goals? So, but I'm definitely excited for you guys. I love all of the ideas that you guys came up with.
Anybody else have any other business ideas? Keith, tell me about your business idea. You're on mute. You got to come off mute. There you go.
It was starting a candy shop and stuff. we sell beverages, candy, chips, cheese chips. In my neighborhood, it's like a little garage where my house is. And
Okay.
we're planning to rent out a space like an actual space, and have a store, a candy shop. But for right now, we're gonna have it in the garage, and so there's a lot of kids in my neighborhood. They're gonna be coming over here. They eat me all up. They be playing outside. You got all that. I'll be able to sell candy, beverages, because they're always playing outside and tired. If they're kids, they'll come over here. They'll come over here, and I know that because I would. I'm thinking of would I come over there? Would I come over to a candy shop in my neighborhood? Beverages, chips. Yes, I would. So I know they would come over here, and it's a good idea. I can get money off of it easily. I know I can. That's my idea.
Okay. I actually, when I was growing up, there used to be a lady in my neighborhood that did exactly what you're talking about. And I know she made a lot of money. I don't know exactly how much, but I know she made a lot of money from us, from me and my cousins and stuff. So that's not a bad idea at all.
Tamaya, what's your business? What's your business idea, Tamaya? You gotta come off mute. I know all y'all on mute.
Hey.
Why do I see Keyshawn doing something?
Because I just picked her. Hold on a second.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Now you can see her now. I cut off her camera and I put on Samaya's iPad, so now she can, because we're together.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just been.
I don't know. Did you ask her a question, Henry?
Yeah. What's her business idea? What's her business idea?
I don't know. What's that?
I don't know. I haven't really started on it. I haven't really thought about it.
Okay. So you still thinking about it?
Did you hear her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What about Jamila? I see Jamila's shadow and I see Jamila's wall. Because Jamila's camera would be weird. But Jamila, come off of mute and let us know your business idea. I see your shadow moving.
I thought my business idea, but okay.
All right, Caden, go with yours while we wait.
She had went to the bathroom.
Okay. All right.
Me?
Caden with a C.
My business idea is to start a training thing for basketball.
Okay. You good at basketball?
Yep. Been playing my whole life.
All right. Sounds like you got a lot of experience doing it. Okay.
Can I start my business then?
Go ahead.
I want to run my own bank.
You want to run your own bank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you come up with that?
I can't really explain it, but every day when I would where my grandma, we used to always go to the bank around, so I want to run my own bank.
Okay. Hey, you gotta shoot for the stars.
All right, the other Caden, what's your business idea? Now's a good time to get it out. Share with Adrian your business idea. See how he can help you out.
I think of I'm thinking of starting a drawing business, like, because I love drawing. I can like draw like I could draw like trees or like grass and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I would, anytime I take on clients and customers, and they want me to help them with concepts of how to get their business off the ground and, you know, how can they monetize the business instead of making it just a hobby. You know, my first question to them is, who would you be targeting as far as your market goes, right? So any product that you make, you have to have a market for it, okay? So you need to understand where, like if you're doing drawings and paintings and things like that, who would be buying these things from you? So you got to identify those things, right? Same thing with basketball and the camps. You got to identify what area, who would come to your camp. Are you in a location, or would you be providing a location that people will be comfortable going to? Or would you just be doing this outside? You know what I'm saying? So you got to know who your target market is going to be. You definitely have to be able to promote and market these things. And those two things, marketing and understanding who your target market is going to be, are always the first two questions that I would ask. So if I could give you guys some homework to do, that would be it. So when you guys, you know, when we finish up this meeting, if you guys will provide to Henry, like, okay, what will be my target market for whatever it is that I'm doing for my business? So somebody mentioned that they would be selling, you know, candy and snacks in their neighborhood. Okay, well, your target market is your neighborhood, just to give you an example, right? So you guys need to identify that. In order for your business to be successful, you got to know where your customers are coming from, right? And then the promotional part of that is understanding how to get your products to them, how for them to know that you exist. If you're selling candy and snacks in your neighborhood, but nobody knows that, you can't really be profitable, right? So you got to know how you're going to be able to market to these people, or to your customers, should I say. So just giving you guys a little bit of homework for all the business ideas that you guys have is understanding those two things and being able to answer those two questions first.
Hope y'all taking notes in your business notebooks. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything they want to, any statements, anything, any experiences with your business so far? For those of you who have started a business or attempted to start a business or just have ideas, now's a good time to go ahead and get it out. Some of y'all I haven't heard from, so I'm not sure. Angela, Alex, Anthony, who else have we heard from? I know some of y'all are together now. But yeah, I want to hear from everybody. Jamila, if you back yet. Alex, Angela. Angela, I can see your head in the screen. Tell me about your business, and then see how Adrian can help you with your business. I see your head moving a little bit. You gotta come off mute, Angela. And you gotta move your camera screen down so we can see you.
I'm gonna go FaceTime baby. You said what?
What's your business idea?
A fashion designer.
Nice, nice. Are you going to be doing the drawing and sketching for this, or hiring that out?
I'm not really sure yet. But I honestly want to be a director. I want to make movies.
Okay, okay. I think there's two people from Rockford. I don't know if you're from Rockford or not, but that actually are starring in a couple of movies that's coming out soon. So which is unique for our city. But okay, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Are you familiar with what it's going to take for you to be able to become a director?
No.
Okay, so your challenge then would be to identify what do you need to do, what steps do you need to take to be able to go down that path. Is it going to be a certain type of schooling that is going to be required? You know, location-wise, where are you going to, where can you see yourself living at to be able to fulfill that dream, right? You got to put yourself in the circle of people that's actually doing the things that you want to do. So that will be something that you want to look into for sure.
Absolutely. What about you, Anthony? You got to come off mute. Alex, you next. Or Alex, you go first. Go ahead, Alex.
I don't have a business.
Hey, Pooh.
You got to speak up. We can't really hear you.
I don't have a business.
Can anybody make out what he's saying?
He said he doesn't have a business.
Have a business? Okay, that's fair.
Oh, there goes my internet.
What about you, Anthony?
I ain't got nothing yet.
Fair. That's fair. Miss.
Okay. Well, there's two other things, my two last points that I have to make on developing your business will be understanding how you're going to fund the business. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but how are you going to fund that business? Is money from you? Are you going to get an investor? Are you going to be saving this money from, over time from different jobs that you're doing? Because if you're selling products, right, you got to be able to get those products out. You're also going to know where you're going to get your inventory. That's going to cost, right? So you definitely want to identify those things. So the next piece of it is I talk to my customers and clients about business credit a lot because I know a lot of us aren't that familiar with business credit or personal credit for that matter, but especially business. So not to get too deep on you guys, but a lot of times you can fund your business without even having to invest a dime out of your pocket. You can leverage the bank's your status with your bank, your relationship with your bank, to be able to that's something that you got.
Hey, Adrian, you breaking up a little bit. You might got to repeat that.
Okay. I was saying this credit side, and not deep on you guys, but that how to leverage your relationship with the financial institution, whatever banking or credit union that you have, leverage that so you can use their money to invest in your dreams, right? Whatever business you want to get started, you don't necessarily have to come out a dime out of your pocket if you take your personal finances seriously. If you do what you're supposed to do on your personal end, it's going to make life that much easier on the business end. So what they'll give you for personal lending, they'll double and triple that on the business side. But yeah, I think outside of that, man, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys got some questions or anything want me to talk about, I'll be happy to dive into it for you.
Good. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Now's the time. Nobody has no questions? All right, well, we definitely thank you, Adrian, for taking your time today, man. It's definitely, man, it was very good presentation. I hope we learned a lot from it. And we thank you for being a guest here at our school. Everybody, can you come off of mute? And let's give our guest speaker a warm round of applause. You can come off mute. We'll give him a little bit of a hand clap. Y'all can go back on mute.
No problem, no problem.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate it. Hope everybody had a very valuable learning experience today. If you have homework, make sure you get your homework done over the weekend. Thank you for coming out once again, bro. We appreciate it. We'll have it on the website. You know, man, it's just a great, especially for the young brothers on here, to see somebody that looks like you, that's successful doing business. It should inspire you and motivate you and drive you to whatever it is that you want to do. Know that you can do it, and that you can be successful with it. And you have a whole network of people out here that are willing to support you and help you get there and fulfill your dreams and your business. So, man, we thank you for coming on. Everybody else, we will see you all on Monday. Thank you all for coming out.
Bye-bye.
Keshonda, are you on? Did you want to give any last parting words? I don't know if Keshonda was on or not.
Yeah, I'm here. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And to all the students, your online homework is due tomorrow. Tell your parents to log in, get your homework done. Ashe?
Ashe.
All right. Thank you all for your time. We've enjoyed ourselves today. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Guys, take it easy.
All right.